Alright guys, so back for another Dokkan battle video. So today we're going to look at the semi-recently released Int Forearm TIEN. Now, Forearm TIEN was an SSR that was released a couple of years ago. I believe he came out towards the end of 2017. Now our boy Int TIEN, he got a Dokkan Awakening, and he's actually not too bad. He has got a lot of interesting mechanics. So, number one, he does supreme damage and raises attack and defense by 30% for 9 turns. So, TIEN is going to be able to get up to, I presume, some good attack stats and defensive stats depending upon how your luck is going to become. Because we actually just got really bad luck right there. Because TIEN's passive, he has a high chance to launch 2 additional attacks, each of which has a high chance to be a super attack. So, it's going to be relatively common, I would think, for TIEN to bust out 2 or 3 super attacks, again, pretty much all the time. Then he gets 10% attack and defense per Dragon Ball Saga category ally on the team. Now, pretty much the one thing with TIEN is you're going to want to keep him on rotation, obviously. Like, if you're going to use him, he's pretty much got to be a rotation character to build up his attack and defense from his super attack, right? Because you can stack that for what? 4 turns, essentially, with the 30% attack and defense. So, as the fight gets longer and longer, TIEN is going to be really, really powerful. And don't forget, 30% attack and defense for every super attack he does. So, he has some of these turns where he's going to do 3 super attacks, and then another turn he does 3 super attacks, and then another turn he does 3 super attacks. This TIEN is actually very, very strong. I would say he's easily one of the best characters on the World Tournament category team, and he's also one of the better characters on the Dragon Ball Saga team, because, like, right there we're at 820,000, right? But that number is just going to continue to really get bigger as he does more super attacks, and the chances of him supering many times in a turn are very, very high. So, again, like, that first turn, we got super unlucky, but the majority of the time, I don't think it's going to be bad like that. So, this is good, right? This TIEN, honestly, I do think this TIEN is kind of worthy of a Dokkan Fest exclusive, if I'm going to be completely real. Because when TIEN first shows up on the scene in Dragon Ball, he is like a really impressive villain. Like, he beats Goku's ass at a time when Goku had not lost much up until the point where he fights TIEN, right? Like, Goku loses to Mercenary Tao, and you could kind of say that Grandpa Gohan gave Goku the business too, I think. Grandpa Gohan did sort of seem to have the edge to me in that fight against Kid Goku, but, like, pretty much outside of that, I mean, Goku also lost to Master Roshi at the World Tournament, right? But that was super, super close. So when TIEN comes in and just starts really laying the hands on Goku, it is very impressive. And, like, some of those World Tournaments in Dragon Ball are very, very thrilling. Considering how well the Kid Goku Dokkan Fest went, I would not be surprised if Dokkan did sort of test out something like that. Like, either making this guy, like, I don't know. One thing that's disappointing to me is that this Forearm TIEN did not have a different name. I think they very easily could have given this Forearm TIEN a different name, right? Then what they could have had TIEN do is, he could have been, like, they could have released a Dokkan Fest version of TIEN that transformed into the Forearm TIEN, but, like, give it a different name. I mean, they still could do that, but it's just a missed opportunity, right? I mean, back when this TIEN first came out, maybe they didn't realize they were going to do the Dragon Ball Saga, team yet, or whatever, but, definitely a big missed chance lost. And then there we are going to get another super attack. I don't think it's going to be that difficult to get TIEN above a 1 million attack stat. I mean, we'll see, right? A lot of it depends upon your luck in the hidden potential system. Like, I don't know if, like, I would probably recommend crits for this TIEN, like thinking about it. Number one, it's going to be super hard for people to rainbow him, right? Because you can only pull him from the Dragon Ball Saga banner. In particular, I think I've pulled 3 copies of this TIEN, so I believe I still need to pull a couple more if I'm going to rainbow this guy, but I definitely would like to. Probably, right now, I have a lot of saved up Dragon Ball Saga tickets. I think in the next World Tournament, I might actually do a number of summons to try and get this TIEN, because I actually really, really would like to get this guy rainbowed, because I think he's a pretty interesting and solid option for the Dragon Ball Saga team, which, you know, is one of the smaller categories in the game, and it's also one of the, I guess I could sort of say, least impressive categories in the game as well, right? The Dragon Ball Saga category, it's just so tiny, with not a lot of power in a lot of these units, right? You do have Kid Goku, who's of course fantastic. You could probably make the case that he's like a top 5 TUR, quite honestly. You know, you do have LR Yamcha and Puar, who might be a better unit than a lot of people give them credit for. LR Kid Goku and Arale is fantastic. And then, like, Roshi. I mean, I guess you could say the new physical Chi-Chi, who just kind of was going to be releasing very soon. She potentially could be, like, one of the stronger units on the team for sure, but I don't know. So let's see what our boy TIEN is going to go ahead and put up right here. Can we get him above 1 million? Yep, there he is at 1 million right there. So TIEN definitely looking pretty good at this point. I actually really like this. I think I do like the idea of a Dokkan Fest exclusive for him. I also do like the idea of a Dokkan Fest exclusive for Piccolo. Like Piccolo in the final World Tournament that happens in Dragon Ball, the 23rd. I've mentioned this quite a few times, but I do really think he is deserving of a Dokkan Fest exclusive. Even talking with the homie Goresh, like Goresh has kind of mentioned, like a dual Dokkan Fest from that World Tournament would be cool. And the Japanese players probably would love it. I think it would do very well. The only issue is, like, you know, I wish they could call Goku from that World Tournament like Goku TIEN or something like that, right? Because, you know, he's sort of not quite where he is in Dragon Ball Z, where he's basically a full-ass grown adult. But, you know, at the end of the World Tournament, like, you know, Goku is, like, bigger, but he's not all the way grown, right? Like, you could definitely tell he is a little taller once Dragon Ball Z opens up than he is sort of at the end of Dragon Ball, right, when he fights Piccolo. But that was such a legendary fight. That was where the Foot Kamehameha Goku and all that stuff came from. But, like, we've just gotten so many base form Gokus of late, including a Dokkan Fest exclusive, right? The SCR Transforming Super Saiyan Goku, he is technically a base form Goku card. So, you know, that's kind of a bit of an issue with them releasing another one. I mean, they would have to do some sort of... I mean, it could work considering all the many different categories, right? And if they vastly made him a different unit who specialized in different things from the Super Saiyan Goku, it could work, you know, because, like, some of these categories, right? Like, you know, that Goku would be a fantastic option for, like, the World Tournament team, again, which is a team that definitely needs additions to it, right? I think the World Tournament category, it's definitely getting a little bit better, because some of these recent units are definitely going to be quite powerful there. But, like, you know, Dokkan Fest Kid Goku himself not being on the category certainly hurts it a little bit. I guess you do have Hercule is on that World Tournament category, huh? So you do have one of the best defensive units in the game. You know, Vegeta Jr. is on the category, so you do have some strong ones here and there, but it's definitely a category that I think needs some work, you know, because, like, well, LRTN and Chaozu, they are still on the World Tournament category, huh? Even though, I mean, technically they're kind of from the Saiyan saga. Oh, boy. That actually would have been real annoying if they had been removed from the World Tournament saga once they got to that LR. Because, again, like, you know, the SSR for TIEN, I believe, is from his first fight with Goku. Then their TUR is from the second World Tournament. And then the LR is clearly the Saiyan saga against Nappa and, well, basically fighting Nappa, right? Because Vegeta doesn't really step in, like, against the Z fighters until Goku gets there. Then Vegeta's like, oh, okay, well, you know, it's actually going to get real now. So we'll take a look at TIEN getting a quick Dokkan attack right here, and then we'll probably move over and, you know, sort of take a look at the details of our boy TIEN. But, you know, if you pull this guy, it's definitely a really good thing. I don't know, I almost want to, like, recommend a lot of players not to go crazy on Dragon Ball Saga summons, though, because they really eventually could just toss an LR into that banner. You know, make maybe a really good one, but it would be a real pain trying to rainbow that LR, huh? So, alright, let's go ahead and take a look at our boy TIEN. So, this is the secret technique for victory, TIEN. His leader skill is Int type P2, and HP attack and defense 60%, so, you know, nothing really too crazy there. You don't want to use him for his leader skill. His super attack is the 4 Witches technique, which does supreme damage and raises attack and defense by 30% for 9 turns. So, judging on how many super attacks you're going to get per turn, this Tien, I think his attack and defense could be like very radically different on a scale, right? You could see him get very impressive in some fights, maybe like a Legendary Goku event, and in other like fights, maybe not be so impressive. You know, something like Dokkan Battlefield probably wouldn't be the best for this Tien. I don't know. I mean, you still could get a couple of super attacks with him in that first turn. But, like, again, his restriction of needing Dragon Ball Saga category allies would certainly limit him hard on anything except for this like, one team, right? His passive skill, Double the Power, gives him a high chance to launch up to 2 additional attacks, and then each has a high chance to become a super attack. So he'll get a high chance for an attack, then a separate high chance if it's a super, and then that'll happen twice, right? So that is pretty interesting. All right, let's... Also, our boy does have 10% attack and defense per Dragon Ball Saga category ally on the team. So, you know, you can get up to 70% with that. But, I mean, I guess that's how they kind of keep him balanced, right? You know, a lot of what he's going to be able to do is going to be just, like, centered around getting multiple super attacks. His links are Crane School, Master and Pupil, Infighter, The Incredible Adventure, Guidance of the Dragon Balls, Cold Judgment, and Shattering the Limit. 12 key multiplier is 140%, which I suppose is fine, right? And then he's on the 2 categories, World Tournament and Dragon Ball Saga. Now, real quick, let's go ahead and take a look at our boy Tien with LRB Pan's active skill going ahead and popping off. And we'll see what numbers our boy Tien can kind of get, and then we'll finish up with this. So, you know, remember, you know, if you're going to have turns where Tien is getting 4, like, super attacks per turn, that's where things are going to be really, really nice. So, but I would recommend crits, going crits for Tien, probably the best way to go. So there we go, 1.27 million, not bad. And then every super attack he does would make him, you know, hit even harder. Even his normal attacks are going to do decent damage if he can get crits. And 1.33. Not bad. I do think Tien is impressive. Thanks, guys, for watching. Let me know what you think of him, and I'll catch y'all next time.